is enough, and it's time for a change.
Are you ready?
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some love! Ooh, yeah!
With Kinny Killa.
Hey, yo! We're in the big D tonight, baby! And we are live! Woo!
I'm the Goddamn Sugar Sugar.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold said so!
Oh, son of a bitch. If you just heard the glass shatter, that's right. It's the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 160 plus one. Because, yeah, sorry, Segheads, last week we did actually record. Me and the Goddamn Sugar Shugs did actually record, but the recording did not take place. So, sorry about that, but we are back. So, rest assured, we are going to give you the best as we always do every week, because I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. And like I said to you, we are joined by the Goddamn Sugar Shugs.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, now, it is my great pleasure to reintroduce to you our sister from another mister from the stateside. It is none other than Ciara Reid.
Hello.
It's been a hot minute, girl. It's been a long time.
I know, I've dyed my hair maybe 8 times since the last time I was on.
There you go. There you go. I'd like to obviously introduce to you a debutante. We seem to have debutantes every single week. I met this guy the other week at Pro Wrestling Chaos, and I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Craig Gilbert.
What up?
What up? Craig, I didn't actually have a chance to have a proper chat with you when I saw you at Pro Wrestling Chaos, but you're on the show now. How have you been, bro?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. What a show that Chaos show was there.
I know, it was crazy. Jay Lethal, Drew Galloway, Wild Boar. Jeez.
It's crazy, man. That's crazy. They're going places, that company. They're going places.
Definitely. Shugs. How have you been?
Yo. Good, man. Good. Good win for United yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's it, really. What else is there? I had no football, so I had a nice, relaxing day. We're on to their midweek games, so I'm here just marking coursework as I'm doing the podcast. So I'm multitasking.
Some people say you can't do that, but we know different. All right, so Shugs, we're probably getting ready to have a nice, relaxing weekend, because next weekend is going to be very messy.
Mate, I would like to say I'm looking forward to it, but I ain't.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping to survive it. That's it.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's a stag weekend. Shout out to Jason Clarkson. Stag weekend.
Yo,
so we're gonna
push
be
back.
getting, we're gonna be getting mashup. Nevertheless, let's get into the show. The Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you check out our website, the Sunday Segue Podcast.wix.com/Sunday Segue. Also check us out on Twitter. That's at Sunday Segue. Segue spelled SEGUE. Also, you can find me. That's at Kinny Killa. Killa. Also, make sure you like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on iTunes, Podomatic, Stitcher. Don't forget to download that Double Twist player. Right. Want to give a shout out to the Segheads. You know who he is, so I'm just going to shout you all out. If I can't shout you all out, sorry about your damn luck, but I'll get you next week. So, shout out to El Snow Academy. Shout out to the WWE fan Scott, Sting Money, Dean Ambrose Music. Who else we got? Real Shoot Wrestling, John Cena's left bicep, Wrestling Snob, Mass Man, Michael Miranda, and Best of the Word podcast. Shugs, any shout outs?
No, I'm good. Shout out to Martial. You're a bad man.
Bad man, Martial. Done know. Champions League 99 final shits. That's what I'm talking about. Martial, bad man. 90th minute winner. Craig, any shout outs?
Just shout out to what we call the Chaos Club and my boy Mike.
Okay. What up, Mike? What up? Ciara, any shout outs?
Well, of course, Pro Wrestling Ponderings and One Nation Radio.
Okay, well, yeah, you'll get a chance to talk all about PWP a little bit later. I want to give a shout out to our business partners in crime, that's Max Wrestling, .wix.com/Max Wrestling, latest issue out now. And you probably, if you're listening to VOC Nation, which we are live on, you would have heard them just before us. Shout out to One Wrestling Bill Apter, you know who you is. see him at the matches. Offshoot Radio, Pigeon Patrol, and You What Gaming Show on YouTube. All right. What we do right now is all debutants have to do their best Randy Savage impression and also let us know who their favorite current wrestler and all-time wrestler is. So, Craig, if you are ready, my friend, can you please give us your best Randy Savage impression?
Oh, yeah. That's all I've got.
Shugs out of 10. Shugs out of 10.
6.
6. Okay. That's all good. We haven't had anyone under 5 yet, so you're in good company, Craig. Let us know who your favorite wrestler currently is and your favorite all-time wrestler is.
I've got to go with Finn Balor for my favorite current.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know, just everything he's doing. I didn't get a chance to see him when I was just getting into the British scene when he went for his last run, so I missed him. But yeah, he's doing good things, and I'm hoping, well, I'm sure we'll get onto it in a minute, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't release the info. Don't release the info, man. It's good content.
And my favorite all time, Shockmaster is definitely up there, but I've got to go with Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. Oh yes, nice. That's a nice choice, man. Fred Ottman, where are you, my friend? Shockmaster. Jeez, Tugboat. All right. We're gonna get into the Raw Fallout right now. So Shugs, fresh opening with Ambrose, Shane, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Y2J. It's been great without the Authority at the moment, starting off Raw, hasn't it?
Yeah. So we were just chatting about this yesterday, how just everything seems to be not even a WrestleMania reset, but it just seems like a fresh show. It seems like a different show at the moment because there's no Cena, there's no Randy Orton, there's none of these people, there's no Triple H, there's none of these people who have been dominating the show for year after year. Everyone's new. Even that greasy motherfucker who's champ, everyone's new.
Oh man. So Ciara, like I said, we're getting some fresh startings. I mean, we're getting Owens and Y2J as the main heels on the show at the moment, doing their thing. What do you think about Y2J's heel turn and how he's kind of brought new life back into WWE at the moment as a heel, and it seems to be spreading to all the other heels as well?
I think Y2J has always, for my perspective, has always worked better as heel. And I don't know, I just always said that for years, that you can't be snarky and sarcastic without being a heel. And him turning heel, it just feels like it's the good direction for him, especially in his maybe a 5 or 6, 7 years of his career lately. It's worked out better for him. He can play that role, and when he turns, it's I don't know. It reminds me of his title run back in the early 2000s when he had Steph McMahon as manager.
Mm-hmm.
When he turned, it seemed like almost all the other heels in the company stepped their game up, and it kind of added that extra, pizzazz to everything, because it's wow, Jericho is a heel, and he's really healing it up. So yeah, seeing that it's spreaded and it's kind of up in the ante for all the other heels on the roster, that's a good thing, because you can't really, the way this roster is fixed now, you can't really have a washed out babyface Jericho with all these great heels. You need to have a great heel Jericho along with these other great heels, so it can balance each other.
We got Shane coming out, and he made some matches for Payback. Payback on the card itself, it looks like a very, very, very good card, Craig. It looks like a very nice wrestling card. May even on paper look better than WrestleMania. And so we made Y2J versus Ambrose, and he made Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, which is great. Then we had a match between Sami Zayn and Y2J. Now, again, this is one of the fresh matches. What did you think about this match and the way Y2J's heel, stuff came across, and also the fact that Sami Zayn took another pin?
Yeah, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy Sami Zayn's work. Jericho, like Ciara said, his heel work is outstanding. I think. Last time he come back, he didn't win a single match, so it seems weird that he's going over, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't really know where to go with Sammy to have him like taking pins and stuff. But I'm sure it's all going to work out. I've got confidence in it.
I mean, for the first time in a long time, Shugs, it looks like Craig said, we have confidence in the fact that at the moment it seems that WWE are doing the right thing. It's probably nothing to do with Kevin the Dick Dunn, but nevertheless, do you reckon something was said to creative, or I don't know.
Well, I just think like what the Shane McMahon character was saying and how he came to the program, I think they just used him as a tool to refresh the product. Because obviously they've looked at it, they've had, they have these conference calls, they have these things, they have the ratings, they have everything else. So they just used sort of like Shane McMahon as their object for change, I guess. Because they seen that the product was getting stale, I guess.
You spoke to me yesterday about the fact that Smackdown seems to be going good. It's probably no thanks to one Ryan Ward, who was the head writer of NXT, who is now the head writer of Smackdown. So it looks like he's doing a good job. Let's go on to the tag tournament, which has been interesting, Ciara, seeing as that obviously there's no New Day involved in it because they're the champs, obviously, but we've got two fresh teams with the Vaudevillains and Enzo and Big Cass. So we'll look at Enzo and Big Cass first. What's your thoughts on Enzo and Big Cass?
I like Enzo and Big Cass, and a lot of people I see on the internet especially get hung up on the fact that they don't win as much. For me, it's the winning and losing doesn't matter. It's the gimmick in itself. And they remind me of like so many tag teams from like the 90s where they didn't win too much. Like, for example, like Too Cool, okay? They didn't win as much. If you look back at the Attitude Era, they did not really win. But it was the fact that we all loved the gimmick and we liked when they got in the ring and dance, and it was always a good time. That's the cool thing with Enzo and Cass, is that the gimmick and the personalities, and especially Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore is, I don't know, it's like he eats a whole bunch of pixie sticks and like, nerds and stuff like that. He is just something that you cannot recreate and you cannot duplicate. And if they were to ever break this tag team up, he will be able to stand alone because of his personality. And when you see him with leopard spots dyed into his hair, like, you cannot get past that. Like, you have to love that. Like, this guy really loves his job. Like, he went and put leopard spots in his hair. Like, that makes you grow and love them. So I really like them as a team, as a unit, and the crowd seems to really be enjoying it too.
I just love the fact that they're not changing anything to do with these guys from when they come up from NXT. They're keeping it the same. They're letting them do their shtick. I mean, the way Enzo comes out and he's like, we got a couple haters. We got a couple haters. He just makes me laugh, man. And Cass could only learn, he just keeps learning, and it's just great. It's great to see. And the fact that these two teams, they won clean. Craig, I'm just going to chat to you real quick about this. What did you think about the fact that there was no distraction finishes in either of them, which I thought there was going to be, and the fact we got two clean finishes from two new teams?
Again, like, it's bringing guys up from NXT, and like Ciara said, the Enzo, like, he pisses charisma as far as I'm concerned. Like, he is just. I look forward to their segments. I look forward to their matches. I just like that they're bringing up the new guys and putting them over. And I'm glad that we're going to see, I think, potentially a brand new tag team becoming tag champs.
Well, it looks like they might do the New Japan model, which is, a new team comes in and you just put the straps on them to give them some kind of notoriety, which is not a problem. It works well for WWE because if a lot of people have been watching NXT, it comes with some background, some notoriety. So you never know, but either way, two fresh teams in the final, and somewhere, somehow, it's probably gonna go to the Vaudevillains, I assume. Even though New Day versus Enzo and Cass will be sick. Ciara, let's go on to the women. We've got a new title. The women. Before we do that, what do you think of the women's championship, the belt?
The women's championship, I was actually caught off guard that this was actually even happening because I don't know. I wrote it up about it in an article last year about my thoughts on the negative connotation of a diva, and it broke down definition of what diva is and how I kind of don't get offended by it, but I understand why a lot of women, especially feminists and closeted feminists and people I didn't know were feminists that just randomly became feminists, are offended by it. So I mean I get that. I get both sides, but for me to this day I'm still not offended by it because there's so many other words when it comes to women that we can be offended by but we're not. But so I didn't get to see Mania when it started on time because I was out the house that whole day. So when I came back, everybody was talking on my timeline, and I'm just like, shut up. I'm going to go watch it. So I started with the pre-show, which I hate because the pre-show takes forever to get to the point. And Lita comes out there with the belt, and I'm like, excuse me, what are you doing? No, y'all said this is for the Divas. Why are y'all telling me it's for the Divas Championship? And y'all just gonna just throw me out there with a new title? Like, there was rumors going around that they were thinking about doing something like that and whatnot. But to see that moment actually happen and just hear that crowd just lose their freaking mind, and at the same time, I was just sitting there thinking, like, okay, we changed titles. What does that mean? So yeah, I really don't like the look of the belt. I really don't.
Oh, I was marking out like a schoolboy bitch. Shugs will tell you. I was sat next to him, marking out like a little bitch. Like I just love that. I just love the belt. I think the belt looks nuts. But everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So
Yeah.
but the women itself. Okay, so we're in a match at the moment. A storyline with Natalia and Charlotte going through the same NXT model that they had back then, where they bring Rick and Bret Hart in, which is only good because that feud was really good, don't you think?
Yeah, completely. I like this storyline, and I actually like what they're doing with Charlotte completely. I think what they're doing with Charlotte is something that they should kind of pattern if they bring up any more girls from like there's like second generation, third generation wrestlers. They should kind of pattern them after her. And not that they had to bring their father to ringside, but just the thing that they've done with her. They've made her go from being a gymnast to being considered or looked at as an all-around wrestler. And they haven't been able to do that with a lot of girls that are a generation wrestlers. Natalia is basically the only one that's been able to do it because she was a wrestler before they could turn her into one. So when you have a girl that's grown up in a big wrestling family like the Hearts, and she's probably the most rounded on that roster to this day. I think even more than half those guys on that roster that's been wrestling for 10, 15 years. Like, I think she can outdo AJ Styles at some point. So you have her, and then you have a girl that's, as you say, chip off the old block and riding her father's coattails. And it's so funny with Charlotte. When she first came as a babyface, I remember saying, this is the worst idea ever. You cannot make a Flair a babyface. Haven't we learned this from David Flair in WCW? Like, whose idea was that? When they kept accusing her of riding her father's coattails, going back to NXT, they just kept using it. I'm just like, they can use this as ammunition to turn her heel. And now we're seeing what we've been accusing her of doing, and she's doing it blatantly in front of our face. So that's like the genius of it. And I like that they paired them together because Natalia is one of those people that in wrestling you only get like maybe a few of them that can work with anybody and make anybody look amazing. And when they worked together at Roadblock, I was really not much excited for that match, but they turned that match into a highlight for me because that crowd who was sitting there on their hands for a minute got into it. And Natalia made Charlotte look like $1,000,000 as a heel. And that was kind of hard because you had, Charlotte go against like other baby faces and only a few of them were able to do something like it. Brie Bella kind of came close. She actually got the crowd to get emotional for it. Imagine that, fans wanting a Bella to win. So they've been the only two that's been able to do that, and her working with Talia, I think it's the perfect program, especially if over the women's championship, a title Natalia should have won years ago. It's really going to be a good thing, and I hope they drag this out for a couple months.
Well, they're definitely. I think they will. I mean, who they say we shouldn't really believe what the sheets say, but the sheets are saying that Sasha Banks was meant to win at WrestleMania, but they kind of went a different way. They decided to stretch this out longer, and it looks like she'll probably take the strap at SummerSlam, which isn't a bad thing because I think Charlotte deserves to hold that title, for a while. But yeah, let's go on to Cesaro, Shugs, and the Miz, the Ballbag. Should we change it? Should we still call him the Ballbag? Because it seems like he is doing really good stuff at the moment. And Maurice is back. It's just perfect for the Miz.
Yeah, and I think it was like a really good move. Obviously, they tried putting him with he's been put with Summer Rae and stuff like that, and she just don't work because she's just too dead. But obviously, putting him with his actual shoot wife is just like a perfect move. And just the best bit is where he's doing the takes. He says something and then does like a retake. It's like such a simple thing, but it's just like so good. Like as if he's in a movie, do you know what I mean? And they're like the best characters, And when he did the bit from Taken, that was just joke. Because that was on Raw. That was on Raw, wasn't it? When he did the bit. Yeah. It's just brilliant. Because it's just like we know what the Miz character is like. He thinks he's this actor. He thinks he's this great movie star. So that's what they're doing. They're letting him be a movie star, but he's playing it like as if Raw is a movie.
Cesaro, again, looks like he's getting, a nice little push, which is great for Cesaro because I'm glad he's back and it's only a good thing. He then says that the New Day is going to be his partners, and the crowd absolutely lose their fucking shit when they come out, which is right. I remember the last time Ciara was on the show and we were talking about Big E, and Ciara was going in on Big E about his singlet, and you still not happy with the singlet, Ciara?
I still have my problems with the singlet, but I mean, was I lying? Though?
No, you was not lying. But what it's just funny. I had to say that because it's been 2 years and he's still wearing the singlet. But now he's also whining, and gyrating like he's Beyonce, like he's sick.
Yeah, it's the progression is strange. I mean, I like the colors that he's been sporting lately, but every time I do watch it, like I complained about 2 years ago, I just feel like. You ever hear guys say like they look at a woman and she has so much clear cleavage going on, and it's just like I feel like I shouldn't be looking.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I look at Big E. Like I feel like I should not be watching. Like no, please, honey, cover that up.
Oh, good.
And maybe we can talk.
Craig, before we go into a break, let's just talk about AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. So now they're going into the main event of Payback, and we have Gallows and Anderson now making their debut on Raw finally, and I mean it's great because I'm a massive New Japan mark. But I like the way that they built the story. It looks like they're building the story now with them taking out Roman, and AJ not knowing about it, and it's a nice fresh program. Craig, what do you think about the way they're going with Roman Reigns at the moment? He seems to be taking some kind of heel tendencies at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got to be honest. I am not a fan of the guy at all.
Nor are we, my friend. Nor are we.
A lot of the times, I will fast forward his segments just because I cannot stand him at all. So I'm really hoping AJ can bring something out of him because AJ's like world class. But Roman, he's got the potential. It's just, I think they're giving it to him too early. Whether that's because of his heritage or what, I don't know. But he needs to work on a few things. He just looks... To me, I don't enjoy any of his stuff at all. I never really did. Even in the Shield, I didn't really rate him out of the guys. So
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I wrote on something yesterday saying that if Roman Reigns was in New Japan, right, he would be an absolute star right now because the way they book those kind of guys, they turn out amazing. Like they turn out an absolute beast. Don't have to say anything. Just they're just yeah. He would be booked so much better. I feel. But it is what it is. I mean, he's the guy that they're going with. So it just let's see what happens. And yeah, sorry, Karen.
just got to sit back and try and enjoy the ride, I guess. But
if we can, Shugs, what's the saying? What's the saying again?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
not a greasy motherfucker. I'm Roman Reigns.
He's like, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. And that sounds like some fucking heel Miz shit. Like, that's what the Miz would say. And that's why I reckon he's definitely turning heel. All right, let's digress. We're going to go on a break right now. You're going to hear from our sponsors at VOC Nation. And then we'll be back with the NXT Fallout. And I'll be getting beard tips from Craig. So don't you miss it.
Live from the In the Room studios located in the Net Carrier Enclave. This is the VOC Nation Radio Network.
Hey everyone, it is your favorite knockout, Mickie James, and you're listening to the VOC Nation.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Thanks for coming on down. It's Save Wrestling, the podcast, and the business-making town. I am your award-winning hostess with the mostest, Shelly Funtime Martinez, and she is my co-host, Dazzling Danielle. Woo! Hello out there. And together we are the Martinez Girls. You finally did it. And you can join us here Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern on the VOC Nation as we save wrestling together, Danielle. Fighting crime. Woo!
And we're back, people. Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, episode 60+1. It's your boy Kinny Killa out here with the Gallum Sugar Shugs, Ciara and Craig. Craig, how do you get your beard to look like that, bro?
Just let it be.
let it be.
I put a bit of product in it, but I don't take much care. Really, it just happens.
Dude, I try and let my shit be, and it just coming out like some patchwork, mate.
I'm one of the lucky guys. There has been some absolute dog piss beards around since this craze has come in, but I'm one of the lucky ones, man.
Strong beard game. All right, let's go into the NXT Fallout. So Shugs, we have a new NXT champion. You told me this shit. I did not know until you sent me this message. What the fuck?
It's just house show magic, innit? House show magic. That's why they want people to turn up. This shit never happens in Cardiff when we go, but house show magic. I think it's really, it keeps it interesting. It keeps the product interesting that you think that anything could happen anytime at any show. I think it's a good move, especially with NXT.
Yeah, definitely. NXT is it's the standard bearer at the moment, man. It's the standard bearer. But it's funny because on NXT, Tom Phillips specifically said, he mentioned the house show, and I was like, why is he mentioning a house show? Like, why is he talking about it? Like, he's saying, make sure you go to this house show, because anything had happened. We had Kevin Owens turning up and all this next shit. And I'm just like, why is he mentioning this? So now we know why. Because they wanted you to go there because obviously the title change. And after, Finn Balor come out, Craig, and started saying, see you on Monday. I don't know if you saw that video.
I seen that. Funnily enough, I was just flicking through the WWE YouTube this morning, and I saw that video on there. And I don't think he said "see you Monday." I think it was someone in the crowd was chanting it, and he didn't stop him or.
Well, he actually said to them like to be quiet so he can talk, and then he goes, "See you's Monday." He's like, "See you all on Monday." I was like,
I thought it was someone in the crowd, but yeah, I mean, if that happens, then I don't know. I'm gonna run around Bristol naked.
Ciara, now, do you think it's too soon to have Balor up, or do you reckon it makes sense having him come in at payback, and maybe disrupt AJ's match?
I don't know. I don't think anything is too soon with WWE anymore. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you would actually have him come in and interrupt the match or not, or save it till Monday Night Raw. It seems like the surprises lay over on Raw lately.
Yeah. It's oh man, it's you know what, to be honest, it's something new, and I'm not even gonna worry about. I'm just gonna wait to see if he does come up, or whether they start to pull the trigger, later. Because at the end of the day, they got new tapings happening for NXT, so all this stuff, that's happening at the moment, all the access stuff, that's all old, so nothing new is being done. So by the time the tapings do roll around, Finn Balor will probably be on the main roster. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The NXT show started off with Chad Gable, Jason Jordan versus Enzo and Big Cass. Man, obviously for us, it's a massive, massive match because, seems like all of the guys that are now on the main roster obviously have to do the job. But what did you think about the match in itself? And obviously Gable and Jason Jordan.
Didn't see NXT.
You didn't see NXT? Oh, last week I told you, yeah. Did you watch NXT? You were like, yeah. I actually watched NXT, and I thought you didn't. And this week you didn't.
I watched Smackdown. That's my jam.
All right, shit. So it looks like we've got to bring Smackdown in 60 seconds back.
No, I need more time now. It's actually decent, so I need more than 60 seconds.
Craig, did you see NXT?
Of course.
Yeah. So what do you think about American Alpha and the match itself against Big Cass and doing the job?
Again, NXT, the tag division there is insane. I'm a big fan of American Alpha. I'm a big fan of Enzo and Cass. So I've always wanted either of those to have the straps down there. So I'm buzzing for them. The match itself I felt was pretty good, kind of safe, but it was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jason Jordan, he's been there a long time now. I'm happy for him because he's worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I don't know if you've seen Breaking Ground, but like the whole thing of when him and Gable were put together and both of them were like unsure about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, you mentioned you went to NXT in Cardiff, like when they done that tour back in December, like the crowds, the chants for them went on for minutes at a time, and like the matches were stopping. So,
yeah, it's a good look. It's a good look.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like them both, and obviously their backgrounds as well. And Kurt Angle, as I mentioned earlier, being my favourite of all time. So those two coming from the similar background.
Just imagine if Kurt Angle turned up and he managed them. Just imagine.
My head would pop.
Like if they get Shelton Benjamin and Charlie has to do like just some retro shit, just do World Greatest Tag Team versus them two, Kurt Angle special guest referee, like that shit would just be nuts, man. That would be nuts. We'll keep on wishing. So Shugs, you didn't obviously see NXT. So Ciara, did you see NXT?
I only saw a little bit of it.
Did you see No Way Jose?
No, I actually missed that.
Shugs, you saw No Way Jose.
Yeah, doing some little dance.
What did you think of this cat top clown?
I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I thought he's supposed to be like Mexican or something, and I'm just like, who's this guy?
He's No Way Jose, man.
He don't look Mexican to me.
It's the the tunes are jammed, though, isn't it? The tunes. No, wait, hey, when that tune comes out, I'm busting a move, man. And then I see him, and I'm like, oh, really? Like this guy wearing the capoeira pants, like this guy, and he's. It's just like, it's super gimmicky. Like, why do they have to do this anymore? It's 2016. It's like Primo and Epico and that fucking Caribbean cool shit. Like,
nah, that's good, man. Puerto Rico.
The only way it would be good for me is if Carlito comes. That would be sick. That would be sick. Carlito comes back. No Way Jose. Should he just be like drifting off with the drifter?
Oh, a pair of them. Both of them. Go away.
Go away. Go away, Jose. Seeing as you're a female wrestling enthusiast, Ciara, what's your thoughts on Nia Jax?
I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is exactly. I'm conflicted on her. And it's kind of weird because, like, a lot of my favorite wrestlers, like Asia Kong and, like, Paul Nakano and Dynamite Kansai and Don't Mess With are women of large statures. And that's not necessarily the problem. I think what I'm conflicted on is they're trying to build her up as this big deal monster heel. And it's basically because of her size. But when I see her, I can't help but think babyface. Like I just I don't know. They give her enough, dark eyeshadow and give her enough smoky eye and dark lips and contour the shit out of her cheeks. But it's like when I see her, even when she gives that smirk, I just feel like babyface. Like
Yeah, she
it's
needs to
just
stop smirking. She needs to stop doing that Roman Reigns shit.
yeah. It's that's what it kind. You hit the nail on it. It feels like that. Like, girl, you're not this, but you're playing that. It just, I don't know. I feel like they think that because she's of a large stature, that they have to rely on that to push her as this, as opposed to just letting her get over organically like a baby face. And I think that will work out so much better for her because, especially with this division growing, you got so many girls coming in and so many girls being reportedly going up. You could use another baby face. Maybe she won't be as big as Bailey, but she could be a good baby face and could get some, authentic reaction towards her as, the underdog.
Well, somebody call an ambulance for Donna Purrazzo because this girl is getting her ass kicked like every week. If it's not a roundhouse kick or Aja Kang back fist from Asuka, it's like she's getting the leg drop from Doom by Nia Jax. But so somebody call an ambulance for her, please. Pick her up off the floor because she is
Please
done.
and sign her because I mean God.
Yeah, you're letting her take beatings for free. Like, come on. I mean, it's going to be a nice shift going to be happening soon in NXT because obviously so-and-so people is going up, which means that certain people have to take other people's places. So it looks like we'll probably see more of Rich Swann, which I'm looking forward to. They signed Mike Nichols and Shane Haste, the Mighty Don't Kneel. I fucking love that name, TMDK. They've signed them to NXT deal, so they're a new tag team coming in, which will be great. So they'll replace the Four Villains or Enzo and Cass. They signed a while back some Indian Asian wrestlers who they've now turned into this tag team. They're wearing like Punisher masks. It looks kind of weird but interesting, so we'll see what happens there. But looks like, Shugs, we might be heading towards a Nakamura Samoa Joe feud at some point.
Imagine like how just hard hitting that's going to be. The King of Strong Style versus Samoa Joe. Just going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
Can't wait, man. They had a match at the house show recently when Nakamura went over. Heard it was a really good match in front of like maybe 300 people. But I can't wait for that, man. It has to be the one before SummerSlam. Has to be. But we'll see. Right. So what we're going to do now is going to go on to another break, and then we'll be back with the final part of the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, where we'll have Shug Stunners, we'll have Segue Time Machine, and Ciara and Craig will be running the 10 count. So don't you miss it.
There's only one wrestling podcast that gives you honest, uncut opinions and the most unique trivia since WWE did The Weakest Link. And the only place you can hear the show-stealing podcast promo every single week.
Covering WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground. Max Wrestling Podcast is the place for you. Join myself, Evan Money Michaela, The Phoenix, and The Butcher. Sundays at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern time with your host, Danny Dangerously, on VOC Nation and the Swerve Talk Network.
Go to maxwrestling.wix.com/maxwrestling or follow us at maxwrestlinguk for more details.
Give in to the madness.
And we're back for the final part of Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. You know who I am. You know who the rest of my peeps is. If you've been listening all the way through, you better be. So right about now, it's time for Shug Stunners. Jobber of the week, Shugs.
Well,
Ziggler took an end of days again.
Yeah, on Raw and on SmackDown.
Oh, did he take it on SmackDown as well?
Yeah, like SmackDown, they were supposed to have a match, and like Corbin just clipped him from behind, and then just like threw him into both barriers either side, and then just like bust him up with the end of days.
Please tell me it wasn't that Austin Aries beatdown.
It wasn't. He didn't throw him into like the little thing, but he just threw him into like both padded sides, either side of like the entrance ring.
Jeez. Okay, Ziggler. What are you saying? Ziggler, jobber of the week?
Yeah, Ziggler.
All right. So,
but
yeah.
Have you listened to like Review Away for the movie review
Nah.
of that Countdown?
No, is it good?
It sounds so joke. I might have to watch that. I might have to watch Countdown with Dolph Ziggler.
Oh god. All right. Move of the week.
I'm gonna give it to Kevin Owens for his celebration with Chris Jericho.
I've seen that video you sent to me.
Where he just ran. I don't even know how Jericho like held him. He just like jumped on him and like as if he just scored a goal. It was so funny.
Oh man. All right. So wrestler of the week.
Wrestler of the week. Tough. I'm gonna give it to the Ballbag.
I knew it. The Miz. Shit. The Miz takes it down. Jeez. All right, people. It's time for the Segue time machine. It is the 24th of April. So we're going to talk about what happened in wrestling today. So, in the year 2000, today, Matt Hardy won the Hardcore title. And then exactly a year later, in 2001, he won the European title. Steve Corino won the NWA Heavyweight Championship. What else? We had Mickie James winning the women's title. We had Diamond Dallas Page winning the WCW World Heavyweight title. We also had Big Van Vader, it's Vader time, winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in 1989. Let's see. Okay, so Craig, what do you think the rating was for the Monday Night Wars Raw episode 361? This is the year 2000. What do you reckon the rating was?
Raw.
Yeah.
I don't know, 4 point something.
Dude. The rating was 7.1.
Oh, okay.
7.1, and this is why. So, 7.1. Rikishi defeated Kurt Angle by DQ. Chris Benoit defeated Road Dogg in an Intercontinental title match. Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly defeated Hardy Boys. Matt Hardy defeated Crash Holly for the Hardcore title straight after. We had a 2-on-1 handicap match with Big Show defeated Bossman and Bobby Cannon by disqualification. Shucks, this was the feud, the Big Show Bossman feud. Where's my daddy? Who's my daddy? Bossman behaving badly. Shout out to Attitude Era podcast. D'Lo Brown and Steve Blackman beat the Godfather and El Snow. Val Venus defeated Eddie Guerrero. Edge Christian defeated the Hardy Boys in the tag title match. And Triple H and Chris Benoit defeated The Rock and Chris Jericho with Shane McMahon as special referee. 7.1. Sierra, what do you reckon the rating was on the flip side on Monday Nitro, year 2000?
I'm going to just say maybe 3.6.
Girl, that's close. It's a 3. They got a 3, which was higher than the last couple of weeks, which has been like 2s. But this is why. We had Terry Funk defeating Bam Bam Bigelow in a Hardcore title match. Chris Candido and Tammy, a.k.a. Sunny, defeating Paisley and the artist formerly known as Prince Iakea.
Oh my god, that match.
We had Chronic defeating the team package, which is Lex Luger and Ric Flair. We had a 2-on-1 handicap match with Billy Kidman and Mike Awesome defeating Hulk Hogan. We had Dave Arquette defeating Eric Bischoff. We had Buff Bagwell and Shane Douglas defeating Chronic for the WCW tag titles. We had a steel cage match where DDP defeated Jeff Jarrett, the chosen one, for the WCW heavyweight title. And the main event was Sting versus Vampiro, which went to a no contest in a first blood match. Jeez. And that's Segue Time Machine. Okay, it's time for the 10 count, people. Time for the 10 count. So let me explain the rules to Sierra and Craig. So you have 10 seconds to give as many answers to a chosen category. Okay. So who wants to go first?
Sierra can.
No, we're gonna let you go. Let's not do ladies first thing.
Oh, come on.
Exactly, it's 2016. Come on.
I'm completely fine with opening doors for guys.
Okay,
here we go.
Cool. That's cool. All right, so Sierra, you go first. All right, so category A, B, or C?
I'm gonna go with A.
Okay, Sierra has lucked out here. Right, so WWE Women's or Divas Champions. Please name as many WWE or Divas champions in 10 seconds, please. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Eve Torres,
Boom.
Michelle McCool,
Boom.
Natalia,
Boom.
Beth Phoenix,
Boom.
Kelly,
Boom. Keep going.
Charlotte.
Boom. Stop. Oh, that's good. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. 6. Okay. Craig, category B or C?
C.
C. Okay.
Oh.
You have Money in the Bank. Please just name as many Money in the Bank winners as you can. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Mr. Kennedy.
Go.
CM Punk.
Boom.
Edge win one.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
Sheamus.
Yep.
Damien Sandow.
Yep. Stop. Whew, that was nice. You also got 6. That was nice. So the top score at the moment is 9, which was done 2 weeks ago by PC Tunney. Shout out to you and the DWI podcast. Yep. 6 is really good. So you guys are on the scorecard. Don't worry. We've got a few that I've got 0. Don't worry. Butcher, you'll get your chance again next week to redeem yourself after getting 0 on ECW pay-per-view, so don't worry, my friend. All right, so what I'm going to do, it's the end of the show, but I want to give this time to Craig just to talk a bit about Courage and let the people know where they can find you on the Twitter.
Okay, Courage is just a clothing brand that I started. At the moment it's just t-shirts, but from all our sales we donate 25% to a mental health charity, Mind. Mm-hmm. It's just to raise a bit of awareness because Mind have helped me, they've helped a lot of my friends, so it was something I always wanted to do, was like start my own brand. My wardrobe's starting to fill up with too many wrestling t-shirts and I can't really go out on a night or wearing like a Cesaro shit, not always. So yeah, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at _CourageCRG, all one word. And then Facebook is just facebook.com/courageforall. And yeah, we got a new, it's the 24th today. We've got a new shirt going out for pre-order on the 25th tomorrow, for 10 days to guarantee people's sizes. Because the first one I sold way more than I thought I was going to, and I've turned people away for orders. So yeah, it's doing well. I want to go in. I want to make it further and bigger, obviously, but it's mainly it's based around mental health and raising awareness and some money for charities. So if you want a shirt, they're not that expensive. They're like £15 each. I can ship worldwide, but you have to pay for shipping if you want it outside of the UK. But yeah. It's going well. It's going well.
Nice. Well, Sunday Segue will help in any way we can. So if you make yourself a little ad, I'll make sure I put it in the break every week so people know about Courage. Okay. So Segheads, make sure you tweet Craig and make sure you get yourself one of them shirts and support mental health. All
Thanks,
right.
man.
No problem. Okay. So Ciara, please let people know about the PWP.
Yeah, I'm at Pro Wrestling Ponderings now, and I do the weekly newscast with Chris, Brian, and sometimes Jerome, and sometimes Kevin, and whenever Kevin is not being sarcastic and mean. But yeah, I do that, and I also write on the website. Yes, I still cover women's wrestling. I write the Ring Bells Roundup. If that name sounds familiar, there used to be a site called Ring Bells Online. I took over the Roundup when Lee Burton decided to step down, and I brought it to Wrestling Ponderings, and I covered. I was doing it week by week, but now I decided to do it twice a month because there be those weeks where there's really nothing going on, and I don't know. I just like the whole 2 weeks worth of news. Like, it just feels so just so extraordinary and just so exciting to get like all this news at once. So I do that, and yeah, but you guys can actually find me on Twitter still at CIARA92189, and that's pretty much it. I really don't do anything else but write and do some podcasts here and there.
Well, we're glad to see that you're still here doing wrestling, which is great. And I will be calling upon your services more often now we have touch based again. So, and now obviously that we're able to do this because now you're 5 hours behind us, and we used to do it really early. So yeah, so I'm happy we can do that. I want to give a shout out to Darren Dyer. You know who you are for bringing me and Craig together. Craig doesn't live too far from my house, so from now on, me and Craig will definitely be meeting up. Shugs, do you want to finish off with anything? The fact that Arsenal are drawing 0-0 with Sunderland and the game is about to done.
Nah, because it don't make any difference, because United are just balls up. We ain't catching no one. We'll win the FA Cup and that's it.
Yeah, and then fucking Liverpool and Man City will just win the Champions League and
but
we're fucked.
would you rather win the FA Cup and keep Van Gaal, or lose the FA Cup and he stays, or the other way around? You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but I'm just going to do something different and say I'll win the FA Cup and bye-bye Van Gaal. Same way. Sorry about your damn luck, future endeavored. All right. All right, people, that's the end of the show. You can find us at Sunday Segue. The Segue is spelled SEGUE. You can find me at Kinny Killa, KILLA. Make sure you check us out on the flip side, people. Sunday Segue TV, onewrestling.com. We'll be covering the best in professional wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling. As you know, every week is episode 13. We'll be looking at the road to wrestling Dontaku, and the fact that wrestling Hunikuni is not going to be happening just because of the earthquakes that happened. So make sure you check us out on the flip side, and subscribe to us as well. Next week we will have Dave Gillum, that's the Butcher 69. So yeah, make sure you check us out next week. And if you don't like that, you can choke on that, slap nuts. Woo!